Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Lewis Morris Relationship Coaching Show. It is good to be back on the RCG Global TV Network with our producer and founder and director, Troy Richardson. I'd like to welcome everyone in. I had a couple of weeks, week before last, my sister had a mild stroke. So I had to go to the hospital and take care of that. And then last week we just had a misscheduling. We missed each other on the call, but we are back and we need to deal with some things. It's a lot going on in the relationship space, and we need to talk about this here. All right, so let me preface this. So, I do other talks, I talk on other mediums, and there is a lot of negative talk going on because of what we're seeing in the news, with Ime Doku and Adam Levine and like this. So I saw something the other night on actually it was on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. It was, because this particular woman, she has a live stream that she does every Wednesday, and it goes out on Facebook, YouTube, and then she posts it on Instagram. So she was saying that the men, accusing the men, because it may be true for some men, but not all men, that men were, they were worshiping the nookie. Let me put it mildly like that, right? So she used as her reference points Janet Jackson, Halle Berry, and now Nia Long. So she was saying that these particular women, who are considered as some of the most beautiful women in the world, there's no doubt about that, that all of them were cheated on by, certain men that they were involved in at one time. So what I'm saying all of this to say that there is a lot of negativity being propagated around what we're seeing in the media from celebrities and the like. Now, I want to give the other side. This is what I'm doing. This is my job. As the Les Brown of relationships, the relationship and spiritual life coach, it is my duty to give the other side of this. This is what some of my teachers and some of my professors would call a teaching moment. This is what this is. There's no reason for couples or people who are looking for long-term commitment, marriage, and like this to be discouraged. No, this is a time where you and your significant other, you and your husband, you and your wife should sit down and have a detailed conversation about your relationship. This is the time. This is what I'm saying. You use what you're seeing of negativity from the media and from these particular stars and celebrities to strengthen the bond that you two have. That's what you need to do. Instead of getting caught up in the negativity and being pessimistic and saying, well, if it happened to them, then what hope do we have? You have hope. You're together. There may be some problems, and if there are, it's easy for you to get into contact with me, for some coaching. Just go to the link tree, linktr.ee Louis. My mother didn't like the E and the W, so she replaced it with the O and the U, Morris, and just schedule a 30-minute free consultation call, and we can get to work. But my point is, do not let these things that we're seeing outside of our relationships discourage us from tightening the bond of what we have going. That's my message for it. So how does this work? How are we going to go about this? What is the steps to be taken in order to take the lessons from what we're seeing and make our union better? How do we do this? There are three things that we need to do. One, if we don't already have good intentions in our marriage, we have to change that and have good intentions in our marriage, meaning to make it better. Our intent should be to make it better, to make it stronger, to make it more intimate. And let me talk about that a minute. Sometimes we let people in to our relationship who doesn't have a right to be in. What are you saying, Louis? What are you coming with here? What I mean is that some people who do not have your best interests at heart, meaning it could be you, could be your husband or your wife, or you as a couple. These are not the people for you to share anything intimate about your relationship with. They're not the people for that, because they do not have your best interests at heart. And look, all it takes is a little bit of self-awareness to discover that, if you don't already know. But most of the time, this stuff shows up pretty quickly. You make a comment, and then they make a comment, and you're like, okay, well, where'd that come from? No, it came from the fact that they really don't have your best interest at heart. They really don't. Now, they may be your friend, but they're trying to hide it. But those things can't be hidden indefinitely. They can't. As I always say, when I start my podcast and stuff like that, the vessel can only pour out that which it contains, meaning the heart. If it's in there, if one of the people that you hang out with and that you believe has your best interest at heart says something just off the cuff, like you mentioned something about the relationship, and they say something negative just off the cuff based on what you said, that's what is in their heart is coming out. Don't overlook that. Don't look at it and say, oh, that was just, just a passing thing. It wasn't. It was in there all the time. It just came out there. Don't overlook that. Meaning, from that point forward, once that thing pours out, you have to understand and know that you cannot share things about your relationship with this individual anymore. You can't do it. It doesn't mean you stop being friends with the person. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there has to be a limit now on what you share with this individual, because this individual has let you know they don't really have your best interests at heart for whatever the reason. It could be jealousy, it could be they want to be with the one that you're with. It could be a number of things. But that's beside the point. Once it comes out, take notice of that and then take the proper steps to prevent that from happening again. So the first thing is to have good intentions in your union. that you want to make the bond between you and your wife or you and your husband better. And let me stop here and say this here. And I'm always saying this, but certain things you're going to hear is repetitive. There is no relationship in your life that is more important than that. Oh, what about the kids? What about the kids? I'm not saying that the kids aren't important, but the kids are present because you were intimate with either the person that you're with or another person. That's how the kids got here. Let's be clear about that. The children got here because you were intimate with the person that you're with or with another person. You don't do that with nobody else. You don't share sexual relations with anybody else. You're not doing that with them. You're not, let me take it down a little bit. All of us, whoever sees this or listening to this, all of us know about pillow talk. All of us know what it is. We've done it. You hugged up, you hugged up with your boo. Y'all whispering, touching each other in places, that you wouldn't touch, other people. Y'all talking about this and that and the other, you're talking about the weather and, the television show, the movie you just watched, whatever. It doesn't matter what you're talking about, but you're whispering. It's intimate. It's close. Who are you doing this with? Who are you doing this with? You're not doing this with your children. You ain't doing this with your mother and your father. There's nobody that's closer to you and more important in the relationship realm than the person you do that with. Understand that. Therefore, that relationship is the most important one. On a human level. I ain't talking about God, that's something else. I'm talking about on a human level, there's nobody more important to you than that person. So you must have good intentions with that person. Second, you must begin, if you're not already doing this here, you must begin to communicate better. Lack of communication brings about confusion and other stuff and could end the marriage or the relationship. You must learn how to communicate better. Want some tips? Little tricks, things on, how to have table talks, quarterly check-ins. Just go to the link tree, tr.ee/LOUISMORIS, schedule a 30-minute free consultation call, talk about it. Work on, work with me. We could do some things with communication and all that. Work it out. But you must learn to communicate better, more frequently, with clarity. And this is a tip that I always give. Like I said, you're going to hear stuff repetitively. It's going to come back. Do not. And some people, look, some people like, I said to the people the other night, I said, listen, I was talking to the women. I said to the women folk, I said, listen, I've been getting some messages from some of the guys. So I have to address this. I said, do not deny your man the nookie. That's what I said. Then I prefaced it. I said, listen, there are certain circumstances where you should deny him the nookie. There are certain circumstances where he should not, where he actually shouldn't want the nookie. And you should deny him if he does. It's 3 cases. One is when you're on your menses. No nookie then. No nookie. Because like in most cases with women, when that's going on, they really can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it can become very painful for them. It can be some severe discomfort. No nookie. Any postnatal situation. Her body needs time to recuperate. She just had an XYZ pound human come out of her. You got to wait, bro. You got to wait. That's just weird. Bro, you got to exercise patience here. Do you understand? Well, you don't understand because men, we can't understand that. But you have to have some understanding that she just had a human come out of her, bro. You got to wait. And third, if she's sick, if she's ill. If she's ill, she want to look. And if you do, she should deny it. She's not feeling well. But other than that, don't be denying the man a nookie. You have to understand. I'm talking to the women now. Understand. Men and women are different. End of sentence. End of sentence. But we are also different when it comes to the nookie and our desire for it. We're different. We're different. So then, I got some kickback. Well, what are you talking about? You can't tell women what to do with their body. I said to the guy, I said, I'm not telling nobody what to do with their body. They do whatever they want. All I'm saying is that if you want to have some unanticipated problems in your marriage or in your relationship, unanticipated stuff that could be avoided, okay, we're denying the nookie then. Because it's going to cause that. Don't be fooled. It's not. It's going to cause some problems. If you want that, then deny the nookie then. Don't give it to them. But know for sure it's going to cause some problems that you don't want. Unless you just want to get rid of them. And if you want to get rid of them, just tell them to go. Don't use the nookie to get rid of them. Just tell them to go. Or you just go. But if you want to keep it, and you don't want any unanticipated problems, things that just come out of your periphery regarding the nookie, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want that, then let them get the nookie. If you do, if you deny, know that that's going to cause a problem in the relationship. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. That's all I was saying. That's what I was saying. Because men and women are different. Even when it comes to the nookie. So don't do that. Oh man. So then he comes back. He says, oh man, begging for sex is beneath us. I never mentioned begging for sex. That's not what I said. I never said that at all. So I don't even, but he just wanted to debate. So I said to him, I said, thanks for your insight, man. Because I ain't into the arguing thing. I done did that already. I'm not interested. I'm just trying to help you. And in this case, I was trying to help the women and the men. Now, for people who didn't see it, like him, okay, I can't make you see that. I can't draw the picture any better to make you see that I'm trying to help the woman and the man who's in that particular marriage or relationship. I'm trying to help both of them. Not just one, both. Because if you give him a nookie in situations other than the three that I mentioned, he's going to be good with getting the nookie. But if he's any good, which he should be, if he's any good at satisfying you when he gets the nookie, as he should be, then you're going to be good too. But if you deny him the nookie in situations other than the three that I mentioned, there's going to be problems. It's going to be problems. That means you're going to have a problem and he's going to have a problem. I'm trying to help both of you not have that problem. It's my job. That's my job. That's my job. This is the last thing. The last thing, and this is the key to it. This is the key. It doesn't matter how long you've been together. If you're just starting out or if you've been married for 20 years, you must be vulnerable with one another. You must. You must. If you've been married for 20 years, you must begin to share with your partner things about you that you've never shared with them before. Oh, there's nothing like that. Of course it is. Of course it is. You've been married for 20 years, which means you've been alive together for 20 years. It's not like that in this life. We don't stay stagnant here. It doesn't work. That's not what this life is. There's constant motion in this life. Things change, which means internally we change. We change internally. There are things that we have inside today that we didn't have inside of us yesterday. It's the way this life is. Now, whether it's positive or negative is another issue. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the evolution of this life, of the life of this world. Nothing stays stagnant here. It doesn't. So don't tell me that just because you've been married for 20 years, that there's nothing new that you can share with your partner. That's nonsense. Give me that. Because this life is not like that. It's not like that. And why is it not like that? Because we always gather new information. And it doesn't matter whether we read a book, we see something on TV, we talk to another person, we go to a class, it doesn't matter. We're always gathering information. And that information always has an effect on us. Either it's positive or it's negative. It's never neutral. Let's be clear about that too. It's not neutral. It's either good, it affects us in a good way, or it affects us in a bad way. That's the way this life is. I got 6 minutes left. Let me lay this. This is why I'm saying this. This is why I'm saying this. Because I don't know if I've said this before, but one of the signs that God exists is that he created everything in pairs. Everything. There's nothing in creation that you can think of where he didn't create it in pairs. Night and the day, sun and the moon, sky and the earth, dark and light, male and female, good and evil. It doesn't matter. He's created everything in pairs. Happiness and sadness. Everything. Why is that? Because it's not neutral. There's nothing neutral here. Either you grow positively or you decline negatively. There's no neutral. Based on the information that you get that comes into your eyes or your ears, because this is how you get information. This is how information enters the heart. This is how. Which is one of the reasons why babies, they hear first. They don't see first. They hear first, then they see. There's a reason for that too, but I don't get it. There's spiritual reasons for that. Spiritual reasons for that. Why babies hear before they see. Spiritual reasons. But this is how information is obtained, through the hearing and the sight. So it doesn't matter if you see it, if you hear it, either it affects you positively or it affects you negatively. There's no neutral. I didn't feel anything about that. Of course you did. Of course you did. You felt something. If you laugh, you cry, you gain some new knowledge, you learn something positive, you learn something negative. I was watching this I don't even know what, I think it was a reel or something, TikTok, I don't know what it was. So there's this guy, I think his name is Roddy Ricch or something. I think that's his name. So he's over in London and he's doing this silly song that he has out. So he's telling the people in the audience, and there's like thousands of people out there, to sing the song. So they all just start jumping up and down, singing the song. I couldn't stop watching it. I watched it at least 7 times in a row. Why? It affected me. Just the sing, it affected me. So don't come on. Look, I got 2 minutes. I got to welcome in to the show Lewis Morris, relationship and spiritual life coach, to the RCG Global TV Network, with our producer, director, and founder, Troy Richardson. We're almost out of here. Remember, use what you are seeing as a teaching moment to make your relationship with your significant other better. Do that. Get in touch with me at the link tree. Listen, we just put out some new apparel. Day before, was it 2 days ago? Called Don't Play With Me. We just put it out. Yeah, it's called Don't Play With Me. Go over to Bonfire and check it out. It's tight. You get you a sweatshirt or sweatsuit for the winter, because yeah, it's tight. Yeah, it's called Don't Play With Me. Go check it out. It's gonna be the first thing on the list when you go to the Bonfire link. Go check it out. Yeah, you want to get in touch, get your free consultation call, work with me, linktr.ee/LOUISMORRIS on the RCG Global TV Network. I appreciate you coming in, and I will see you again next week.